Okay. Good afternoon, folks. If I don't jinx this could be relatively short. I do believe Mr. Krikorian is on his way. Well, let's do this, because I know you've been waiting, and I don't know when he's going to get here. It's Tuesday, February 2nd. Welcome to Planning and Land Use Management Committee. We have all the 4 items today. But the most important one is a nominee to be appointed to the Cultural Heritage Commission. I'd like to ask Ms. Gail Kennard to the microphone. Good afternoon, Ms. Kennard.
Good afternoon. Can you hear me?
First, I want to thank you for your time and your commitment to the city of Los Angeles. I've learned you have a great history with the city at many different levels.
Thank you.
And I want to just express my gratitude that you are now offering your services in this capacity and your volunteer work, and that will make a big difference, I believe, in the city.
Thank you.
With that, I'd like to ask you, what would you like to bring to the table given this role in the Cultural Heritage Commission?
Okay, well, I'm a lifelong Angelino. Grew up and raised here in Los Angeles, and the city has been very good to me, so I feel this is a great opportunity to give back. I feel that I can play a role in giving a voice to the citizens of Los Angeles who may not have a voice in chambers like this.
Great. In terms of those who are listening, and I think it's important to celebrate and magnify the skill set that you bring here, given your relationship with the city, and could you just like to share some of that with us?
Okay. I am the daughter of the late Robert Kennard, who was a pioneering African-American architect here in Los Angeles. He started his company in 1957. So our company, which I run today, is the oldest African-American owned architectural firm in the Western United States. So we've been doing many projects in Southern California and in other places in Northern California and on the East Coast. But our primary focus is community work. We do a lot of work for schools, colleges, community centers, and we've even designed libraries for the city here in Los Angeles and other projects here in the city. So I bring that to the table. I'm a former journalist before I got into architecture, and I hope that will help me in terms of looking at both sides or the multiple sides of issues. And I also have an interest in history. Fantastic.
I know Mr. Councilman Krikorian is on his way. I'm not sure when he's going to get here, but I will be recommending, and at this moment, because he's not here, it'll be a recommendation from the chair to consider your approval, and you will be coming before the council, Madam Clerk. Do we know when? The 19th. So February 19th, we'll expect in City Hall, and again, thank you for all your contributions and look forward to working with you.
Thanks for the opportunity.
Thank you, Ms. Clark. On number 2, I don't see any cards on 2, and we can move to adopt. Roberto, can you read that into the record?
Yes, Councilman, this is a motion by Councilman Sine, seconded by Ms. Perry. It's directing the Planning Department and Building and Safety to study the issue of shade structures and the equipments that accompany them as constructed by the Department of Rec and Parks.
Okay. So we can move to adopt, and number 3, I'd like to move on consent. Seeing no cards on that one, no recommendation. Can you read that one, sir?
Sure, Councilman. Number 3 is a report from the South Valley APC. It's a building line removal for a property in CD3 located at 109603, excuse me, the property is located rather at 5429 Lily Avenue in CD3.
Okay, and number 4, Roberto.
I believe that's a continued,
Okay, we'll continue it for 1 week.
right, and it's an appeal in the district for a track map for a condo project for 7 units.
So that'll be continuing. Mr. Childs, you did submit a card, would you still like to speak? Yes. Okay. So Mr. Childs has chosen to wait 1 week. Thank you, sir. And number 5, we don't have a report, but we do have 1 public comment card on the number 5, Mr. Weiss.
Mr. Reyes, again, my concern on the planning department is that they've gone to developers, speculators who've gotten track map approvals, and they've basically gone to them and or the other way, and said essentially we'll double your density, we'll just put this SB 1818 overlay on the project. That's what happened in Fountain and Gower. 11 went to 22. It's what happened in Valley Village, 78 to 146. And they just go ahead and approve it. And there's not the appropriate communication with the public. They have this apparent new protocol where they call it modification, and the whole process is, quote, modified, and the SB 1818 application is approved. The community doesn't know. I think it basically gets down to, Mr. Reyes, the need for this data. The council really did order the planning department to provide what happens within 1 year after the implementation ordinance was enacted, asking for specifically which projects, where they are, how many were approved, how much affordable housing was created, how much was destroyed. Planning is not giving you, the policymaker, that critical information. We really don't want to be in a situation where we destroy more affordable housing than we create. That's the purpose of that. Nobody is, being NIMBYs here or anything like that. We want to basically get this done in a way that's consistent with the overall objective. That's my concern. I'm also concerned about speculation, such as can and might occur in Valley Village with this particular property, because the bank that held the loan that foreclosed on the property now was itself taken over by the FDIC. That means that speculators can come in there and buy this property literally for 30 or 40 cents on the dollar because the federal government subsidizes the loss. So we're in a situation where Magnolia is now fodder, if you will, for speculators. And frankly, the other aspect of it is in this situation, because the property has devalued so much and the equity and the speculator's equity was wiped out, they don't need the concession or incentive to the same extent necessary. We can get affordable housing, we can get some middle class housing, and frankly, in terms of even your issue with the police and fire, why can't we have a situation where even if people, or city employees, if they need housing, this could be an opportunity for you to say, you know what, we may not be able to raise your salary, we may have to lower your salary a little bit, but we can give you these indirect benefits. We can provide for housing for you, and in doing so, give you, an added benefit. Anyway, thank you, Mr. Reyes.
Mr. Weiss, I do appreciate your comments. I am listening. I know there's a discussion with my staff, so we are listening. Thank you, Mr. Weiss.
Thank you.
Okay, and we'll thank Councilman Krikorian. That's okay. We moved on the items. On item, let me just, if I can get your approval, it'll be more than just a report from the chair, but number 1, we had our appointee, Ms. Gail Kennard, and move approval. She's a great addition to that position. Second. Number 2, we moved to adopt. If we can second that one. Yes. And 3, we moved on consent. And 4, we can continue 1 week. Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you, Councilor Krikorian. Thank you. All right. This meeting is adjourned.